Hey guys, I hope you're doing well and having a great day. I'm back with a new video where I'm going to be rating every boss car in Top Drives. Now this is a two-part video and we're now in the second part. So I think the first half we ended with, what did we end with? We ended with the Mercedes-Benz E500 from the Colombia campaign. And now we're moving on to the Chevy Trailblazer. So once again guys, how it's going to work is that I'm going to talk about the pros, the cons, did I keep it, should you keep it, I'll give a rating and a verdict. So without further ado, let's start with the Chevy Trailblazer SS. Now the pros for this car, well, it's pretty obvious. The pros for this car is that it is the fastest Chevrolet SUV in the game. And with the Chevy brand aside, it's one of the fastest, easily accessible SUVs in the game. Really fast. When you upgrade this thing, it goes down to like 4.5, 0 to 60 if I'm not mistaken. Amazing car. Other pros is that it has a low RQ for the B range. It is very light for an SUV. All surface four-wheel drive, and it has small competition. Now what I mean by it has small competition is that there aren't a lot of SUVs that are faster than the Trailblazer. I mean, if you're thinking about fast SUVs, maybe the next fast one is like an epic Mercedes SUV, but what are the odds of getting that? Another pro to this car is that Hutch upgraded this car from a C to a B. So that kind of just speaks for itself. Amazing car. The only con for the Trailblazer SS is that it has basically no grip at all. But who cares? This is a drag SUV, fast circuit SUV, 0 to 100 miles per hour SUV. So in terms of handling, it's not a priority. So, did I keep it? Yes, I did keep the Trailblazer SS. In fact, I have two, both that are maxed out. And should you keep it? For all levels, from beginner to intermediate to expert, I say yes. This is an amazing car to keep. And overall, my rating is 9.9 out of 10. So, my verdict for the Chevy Trailblazer is, this is a car that will withstand the test of time in Top Drives. It will forever be useful in the single player and multiplayer events, and it is an absolute drag monster. So guys, if you play the campaign, you get this car, make sure you keep it, max it out. It is going to be worth your time, your money, your cars, everything. Anyway, next up, we also have a very good car. Similar to the Chevy Trailblazer, it used to be a C-class car, and it got upgraded to a B. The pros for this car is that it's very lightweight, it has amazing grip, it has a very low RQ for the B range, RQ 19, same as the Trailblazer, and it has good 0 to 60. Here are the stats. I think it goes down to like 4.3 0 to 60, I can't remember. The cons for this car is that it has low top speed and has competition, and this car will always be a second pick. Now when I mean second pick, I mean this is a very strong car nonetheless. However, there is the RQ21 Lotus, I forgot what it's called, but it goes up to 97 grip and it is really strong. Did I keep it? Yes. In fact, I have two that are maxed out, just like the Trailblazer. And should you keep it? Absolutely. My rating for this car is a 9 out of 10. And my verdict is that much like the Trailblazer, I mean, this car is very similar to the Trailblazer. It used to be a C, got upgraded to the B. It has a, very strong stats. In particular in one area, it is known for one feature it's very strong in. Basically, the Elise 135 grips like a boss and should definitely be a keeper on any garage. The only reason this car did not get as high of a rating as the Trailblazer, meaning it didn't get a 9.9, is because this car actually has a lot of competition. The Trailblazer doesn't, because I would say the competition for the Trailblazer is hard to get. Once again, epic Mercedes is very specific. But in terms of the Lotus, it does have a competition in the ultra rare range, which is the RQ21 Lotus. So therefore, I gave it a slightly lower rating, but nonetheless, it's an amazing car. You should keep it maxed out. It's amazing. Next up is Germany, and the price for this car is actually a not a Supra, it's a BMW Z4. The pros for this car is that there's low 0 to 60, it's very light, it's a strong C-class car, it is the highest C-class car up there with an RQ of 18, and it's a convertible. The cons for this car is that it has mediocre handling and no outstanding features. Now, I don't like cars with no outstanding features because what am I going to use it for, basically? Like, it doesn't have super strong grip, it doesn't have super strong 0 to 60, but it's kind of all okay. But did I keep it? Yes, I do have one, and it is maxed out. I do use it. I used to use it in BMW events, but I'm using it less and less now as I get more advanced into the game. And should you keep it? If you are a low-level player, yes. If you're an intermediate level player, yes. If you're an advanced level player, it is optional. Now, once again, guys, low players is basically like from the start to like the halfway mark of the campaign, a little over halfway. Intermediate is when you finish the whole campaign 100%, and advanced is like your RQ 150. It's over the roof. You have S's everywhere and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, my overall rating for the Z4 is a 7.5 out of 10. This is because of the verdict. It is definitely a strong car that is quite fast. It is a fast car. However, the fact that it has no outstanding features makes it obsolete in many multiplayer events. However, in terms of single player campaign, it will prove very valuable. So do keep this car. It's really good for the single player campaign, but outside of that, it wouldn't be so good, I would say. Next car is from UAE, also a BMW, and it is the X5. Here are the stats. It's a BRQ20. The pros is that it's eco-friendly and it's good fuse material. The cons is that there are no outstanding features, mediocre statistics, very mediocre actually. It's very heavy and it's not useful in most multiplayer events. If not, it's not useful in any multiplayer events. Did I keep it? No, but I fused it. And should you keep it? I would say at this point in the game, when you're in UAE, there's no more like new player. So from now on, I'll just be rating intermediate and advanced. So if you're an intermediate player, I would say you can keep this car for the campaign, but do consider fusing it. And if you're advanced, then 100% fuse the car. Rating is, I give it a 4 out of 10, and the verdict is, well, it's a meh car, I would suggest fusing. There are many SUVs that do the job better than the X5, whether it be grip or drags, top speed, anything. The statistics are just bleh. It's eco-friendly. That's what it has, eco-friendly. If they're saying eco-friendly, like off-road multiplayer event, then yeah, maybe it would be good. But it's that specific, so it's not worth keeping around and investing for. So that's why I give it a 4 out of 10. Next, we're moving into our final three. We are now in Japan, and this car is a Subaru Impreza WRX. Now, when I played on the campaign, they gave me a different Subaru. It was like the white Subaru. So I actually never had this car, but I've raced against it. I've seen it maxed out, and so I'll just give my opinions based of that, since I've never owned it before. So the pros is that it's 4-wheel drive. It has good handling, medium height, I think. And it's one of the best Subarus in the game. I would say like top 3, top 4. The cons is that it's an expensive investment. Many cars can do the job better. And when I mean the job better, I mean like twisty circuits, what 4-wheel drive cars are known for, or like city streets or something like that. And it's not a priority car to invest in. Because many cars can do the job better. So did I keep it? Once again, I've never had this exact car, but when I did get the different Subaru that they used to give, which was also an A, I didn't keep it either. But I did fuse it for my McLaren. Should you keep it? I say if you're intermediate, I said yes. If you're advanced, it's optional. You can keep it if you want, but I'm not gonna. I wouldn't keep it. I would fuse it. My rating for this car is 5.5 out of 10. Over average. I would say over 5. It's definitely a decent car to keep, but I wouldn't say it's a priority. My verdict is that yes, it's a very good Subaru. It's very good in Subaru events, but besides that, it's meh. Other cars can do the job better, such as the RS6 Advent. And yeah, this car is useless in daily events and almost anything. It's good for the campaign and it's good for Subaru events. So if you do want to keep this, if you're just a Subaru fan, or anything like that, then yeah, I would say keep it. If not, just fuse it. But yeah, pretty low rating, not a fantastic car. I wouldn't say I wouldn't get super excited over it. Next, we are back to USA, and this car, the Camaro Z28. This car has special meaning to me. I have 2 of these cars, both of them maxed out. And that's a huge investment considering they're A's. But let me just tell you the pros for the Z28. It's bloody fast, has good top speed, good MRA, amazing grip, looks good, good power and torque, and one of the best Camaros in the game. That's a lot of pros. Cons, and there's only one con, and this wouldn't have been a con if this was like 2 months, 3 months ago. The only con about this car is that it has low ground clearance. Some of you might get why I'm mad that it has low ground clearance, because this car used to have medium ride height. And imagine just having a car with that goes up to like 94, 96 handling and like 3.40 to 60. At the same time, it's also medium height. Obviously not anymore, it's now a low height car, but it still has so many pros to it, and it's an amazing car. So did I keep it? Yes. In fact, I have 2 maxed out, and yeah, these are 2 A's that are maxed out. And should you keep it? No matter what level you are, I would say yes, do keep it. Amazing, amazing car. The rating that I give the Z28 is a 9.8 out of 10, and my verdict is that this car would have gotten a perfect 10 out of 10 score if it still had the medium ground clearance. Yes, this car used to have medium ride height, and it was an absolute beast. That's why I have 2 maxed out, and I love this car. Unfortunately, now it has low ground clearance. I favor my Corvette Stingray, so yeah, I don't use this car as much as I used to, but it's still a great car to keep. So if you do get this car from the campaign, do keep it, do max it out. Amazing, amazing car. Lastly, it's Monaco. And we all know the grand prize. It is the McLaren 12C. It's the legendary car you get finishing the campaign. This is like the big moment. You finished a whole single player campaign. You feel good about yourself, you know. It's great. Anyway, my rating for this is a 10 out of 10, and this car speaks for itself. I didn't write any pros, I didn't write any cons, and I didn't write if you should keep it or if I should keep it, because obviously I keep it. I still use it on daily events after having this game for like almost 2 years, and yeah, it's a car that will stick in your garage forever. The verdict is that this car needs no introduction. It is an amazing car and will be used forever unless you open mini packs and get very lucky and get like 5 Chirons. But you know, if that doesn't happen, amazing, amazing car. Anyway, guys, those are all the boss cars. From the McLaren to the Z28, the Trailblazer. If you guys haven't watched part 1, the link will be down below. But yeah, I've now reviewed every boss car in the game, so I hope this guide has been proven, you know, useful, especially to the newer players. But definitely some really good cars. You know, credits to Hutch. They weren't stingy about the give outs. They could have given like the worst McLaren in the game, or you know, I don't know, maybe like a Stingray. Well, Stingrays are actually good, but you know what I mean. They could have given a lot worse cars for the prizes, but they actually gave us some really, really good ones. So credit to Hutch for that. Some amazing cars here, and I hope this guide helped you guys out. So please do like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.